The mother and the witch in a peaceful village deep in the forest. A mother and her little child lived happily together. One day, while taking a walk through the woods, the child became enchanted by a frog and followed it, disappearing around a bend. The mother frantically searched for her child, looking behind bushes and trees, but he was nowhere to be found. As her desperation grew, the mother reached the edge of a swamp. Without hesitation, she jumped in, covering herself in mud. When the swamp yielded no sign of her child, she rushed into a nearby chicken coop, where she got covered in feathers. Meanwhile, the little boy, unaware of his mother's worry, continued playing with the frog. Suddenly, an old witch appeared and lured him with the promise of candy. Terrified, the child screamed, and his mother, hearing the cry, rushed to the spot. The witch, upon seeing the mother, cast a spell to make herself look identical to her. "Stay away from my child," the mother cried. "This boy is my child," the witch retorted. The child, confused, clung to the witch, unable to recognize his mother. Tears streamed down the real mother's face as forest fairies arrived to intervene. "We'll take all three of you to fairyland and determine the truth," they declared. In fairyland, the head fairy proposed a test. "Whoever the child chooses is the real mother," she said. The child ran to the witch, prompting the mother to ask for another chance. She washed herself clean of the mud and feathers and requested a new test. This time, each woman prepared a meal for the child. The mother cooked a comforting rice dish, while the witch conjured a magnificent chocolate cake using magic. Predictably, the child chose the cake. "That's not fair," protested the mother. The fairies agreed to one final test. A hug. The mother embraced her child. He softly said, "Mama," recognizing her scent. Furious, the witch tried to snatch the boy, but the fairies used their magic to trap her in a cage. The mother and her child, grateful to the fairies, returned safely to their village, where they lived happily ever after, their bond stronger than ever. Emily, Emma, and Mother Holly in the same forest. There was a widow with two daughters, Emily, who was hardworking and kind, and Emma, who was lazy and selfish. Despite Emily's efforts, her mother favored Emma and left all the chores to Emily, who earned a meager living by selling cross stitches at the market. One day, while embroidering by a well, a mischievous rooster startled Emily, causing her cross-stitch to fall into the well. Desperate, she reached for the bucket but lost her balance and tumbled in. When she awoke, she found herself in a vibrant garden filled with talking animals and magical flowers. A rabbit asked her for help pulling out a carrot, and she obliged. A withering rose begged for water, and she revived it. Finally, she met Mother Holly, a mysterious but kind woman who invited Emily to stay in her house, provided she kept it clean and fluffed the feathers on her bed daily. Emily agreed and worked diligently. Mother Holly, impressed, rewarded her with gold, beautiful clothes, and her lost cross-stitch before sending her home. When Emily returned, her family was astounded by her wealth. Jealous, Emma decided to replicate her sister's journey. She deliberately dropped her embroidery into the well and jumped in. Arriving in the magical garden, Emma refused to help the rabbit or the rose. She eventually reached Mother Holly's house but shirked her duties, leaving the house in disarray. Displeased, Mother Holly sent Emma home, but instead of gold, a shower of mud covered her. The lazy girl returned to her family in disgrace, learning the value of hard work. Emily and Emma eventually reconciled, working together to create beautiful cross stitches, living happily ever after.